Good morning, or rather good afternoon, friends from around the world. Here we are for another episode of Blissin Out. I'm Dave Griot, founder of Karma Tribe, coming to you live and direct from the central Pacific coast of Costa Rica. Today we have an amazing show planned. We are going to be inviting soon two extraordinary young people, and we are going to ask them about the pressures of today that the youth are facing. And I want to ask them about their generation and how it differs from previous generations. And we're going to get very deep, very philosophical. And as you know, many times the youth has the most truth. So that will be confirmed very shortly. Guys, thank you so much for being with us. Good morning, Luis. Good morning, Manrique, Melanie, Natho. It's so great to have you tuning in. Please let us know where you're from in the comments. It's always a pleasure to know. And thanks for your patience. This morning we had a little electrical power failure, but now we're back in action. Good afternoon, Cynthia, a.k.a. Mom. So good to have you on. So, before I invite our amazing guests, I would like to share with you some latest news updates and exciting factoids from the tribe. So, tomorrow, as you probably know, is our last day to submit a video for the Giant Heart Video Contest. So if you haven't heard about this yet, we got together with 5 celebrity judges, a woman who's on her way to curing pancreatic cancer with a team of scientific investigators. We have Stephen Brooks, the founder of Envision Festival, the founder of Punta Mona Permaculture Center in the Caribbean side of Costa Rica. We have Diego Delfino, the famous journalist from Costa Rica. And we have Emily Gusoni, surf pro on the Costa Rican national surf team. Amazing young lady. And we also have, who's the last one? Oh my goodness, I'm drawing a blank. This kind of thing happens when one is live. But the last one, is the Administrative Director of Lifting Hands Foundation, giving education to the poor in San Jose, Costa Rica. These are our 5 celebrity judges, and they are going to decide on the most inspiring video. And in collaboration with 5 corporate sponsors, that video is going to be boosted to 1 million views. So we've already received about 15 videos, and tomorrow's the last day. So stay tuned, because we have a very beautiful video that's going to be released. And Luis, great to have you. He says there's no audio. Anyone else experiencing audio? Okay, Luis, glad that your audio problem is solved. Hello, my dear. Great to have you on. Barb, hi from Nonian Mall in Pincher Creek. Oh, one of the mothers of one of our guests is tuning in. This is just fabulous. So great to have you. Good morning, Andre. Good morning, Marcela. Good morning from downtown Heredia. Oh, this is great. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. So the other thing I wanted to share with you is that last weekend we had 2 Karma Tribe cleanups at the same time. We had one in Jaco Beach, led by me, and we had another one led by my friend Walter in San Pedro, Costa Rica. So I just think it's amazing to have 2 cleanups going on, cleaning up the streets, cleaning up the beaches, helping Mother Nature, building community. So if you're interested in starting a Karma Tribe cleanup in your area, let me know, and we'll make it happen completely free to you. And it'll build a lot of good vibes and a lot of good karma. Just email me, dave@karmatribe.com. On the off chance that there's someone watching who has not heard of Karma Tribe, you're in for a surprise, because what we realized is that everyone has different gifts, everyone has different resources, and everyone needs help in different ways. And so we're connecting people together into an alternative economy without money. It's through our website, karmatribe.com, and on there you can offer and request free services with people around the world. Language classes, computer help, tourism advice, rides, business consulting. Anything you need is on Karma Tribe. It's a way to share your gifts with the world. It's a global network of people helping each other for free because it feels good. And we are already in 49 countries. Can you believe it? I certainly cannot. So, it is almost time to bring in our first guest, an extraordinary young man. He is basically a cousin of mine who is visiting. Without any further ado, Brent Condon!
Dave, how are you?
Hello, Brent. It's great to have you on the show.
Great to be here.
So good.
Excellent.
How does it feel to finally be on Blissin Out?
Feels amazing. I've loved the show, and I'm glad to be on this side of the camera here and ready to talk about whatever.
Great. Well, I appreciate your openness and your bravery in being on the show. Yeah, you're one of our biggest fans, and I noticed you always tune in. So yeah, I'm kind of curious to hear how long have you been watching Blissin Out, and what do you like about it, or what has it brought to your life?
Well, I've been watching Blissin Out for, I don't know, just ever since it started, I believe. I remember watching the first one as you and Jackie, and it was excellent. And some of the things I like about it, it's very fun, and I don't get to see you a lot, so I feel like I get to see Dave and, meet Jackie almost. And also I enjoy the deep and enriching topics that we happen to go through. Lots of good stories and lots of good guests.
Great, man. Well, thank you. I'm glad you enjoy it so much. I'm glad you feel that it brings something to your week. And yeah, it's great to have you down here. So Brent is visiting me for about 10 days from Canada, from Pincher Creek, Canada, a small town. So Brent, yeah, I would just like to ask you some different kind of philosophical questions about your life, and
yeah,
it'll be nice to get a perspective of a young person. Well, how old are you?
I'm 17.
17? Oh, great. Wow, we're getting lots of love here in the comments. This is great. Rachel says, "Hey, Brant!" Triple exclamation mark.
Excellent. Hey, Rach.
My mom says, "Wow, I haven't seen him since he was 6." And there's also lots of hearts pouring in.
Excellent.
So, Brant, I'm curious. So, the philosophy of Karma Tribe is that we each have different gifts.
Yep.
We each have different needs. You're 17 years old. What do you think that some of your gifts are to the world?
Well, I feel that some of my gifts are positivity. I truly like to be positive, and in every sense of the word. I also try and bring lots of energy, which kind of goes hand in hand with positivity, and I feel that could be beneficial. Also, I just I love to help people for whatever reason. It's very fulfilling to me, and then also with the help of Karma Tribe, it's also much more easy and accessible. So I enjoy that.
That's awesome, man. Well, yeah, it's great to hear your perception about your own gifts. I'm gonna ask also a little later our other guest what she thinks your gifts are, and vice versa. I think that would be very interesting.
Excellent.
But okay, so Brent, you used to live in Calgary,
yes,
which is a city of about 1 million people, and you moved to a small town of Pincher Creek. How old were you when you moved to Pincher Creek?
I believe I was 14.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you've been there, like 3 years.
Yes. Yeah.
So I was just kind of curious, like, how is it living in a small town versus living in a city for a young man in Canada?
You know what? It's a lot different. It's compared to the city. It's a lot slower, and there's a lot of different views, and they're somewhat askewed from the rest of the world. And I mean, it's nothing bad or anything, but it's a lot different, and I choose not to follow some of the views that some of the people in Pincher Creek have, and it's not a bad thing per se. It's just something that I choose to do. I choose to be a little more open-minded, and it's something that I feel very strongly about. So, in that sense,
it's kind of like a bit of a conservative town with some rigid beliefs.
Yes, I would say so. And so going along with that, yeah, I mean, it's a little difficult to not speak out and be upset sometimes, but also I try to hint at the point of that it's not okay to, be so close-minded and to broaden your horizons.
Well, that's cool, man. So, what are some of the things that you like more about a small town than a city?
Some of the things I like more is I'm more connected with nature. I'm right next to the mountains, and it's excellent. I like to ski and fish and stuff like that. That's great. Also, I happen to know most of the people there, so then it's excellent. It feels very homey and stuff like that. So I enjoy it in that sense, and that's a couple of the various reasons I like it, but those are the two main ones I would say.
Okay, cool. Folks, if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments, or if you want to tell us where you're tuning in from. So great to have you on. Thank you for watching. So Brent, yeah, what is a dream of yours? Because part of Karma Tribe is also throwing out requests to the universe for something that you need help with, that you want, and as we've talked about on the show, there's a certain power in also verbalizing what kind of future you imagine for yourself, and actually saying it, laying an intention.
Yep.
It makes it more likely to materialize.
Mm-hmm.
So, what are some things that you hope for in your near future in your life? What are some things that you're working towards?
Some goals of mine that I've set out for myself is being much more free with my actions and going with the flow a lot more. And that's just a small sort of a short-term one. And then broader, more extensive one would be financial freedom and also doing what I love at the same time. And I feel that it's possible to do both because, when you do what you love, you tend to work a lot more hard at it. So something like that, I would definitely say would be one of my goals.
Okay, great answer. I'm curious, Brent, do you feel at this age, I mean, you just graduated high school, right?
Yeah.
I think, I just would think, that would be kind of a tough time. You're not sure, what to do now, you're going to be kind of independent now, and you have different options, going to work, university, traveling, and then you have to think about what kind of job,
Yeah.
How does it feel to be at this juncture in your life?
Well, it feels very overwhelming, I must say. It's obviously something I've thought a lot about, and I feel, pressure from many adult figures in my life, and not pressure as in bad, it's just they want what's best for me, and I understand that, and I'm very thankful for it. It's just, I'm going to find my own way sort of thing. And so that, and then also even at school from teachers and stuff before I had graduated, there's a lot of pressure, what are you going to do next year, what's going on, and there's not always a straight answer to that, so it's very hard to tell somebody oh, I'm doing this, unless of course you do have exactly what you want for the rest of your life, and that's great if you do. It's nothing bad. I'm just, for me anyways, it's not such a straightforward question, so it's hard to answer. Yeah, and
that's something I've noticed a lot, is that adults tend to always ask young people, okay, so what are you going to do now? What are you going to do? What's your plan? Da, 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 da. It's the classic question, but most people don't really know what they want to do, and especially when you're fresh out of high school,
Yes.
I think it's a time for exploration. And there's probably all kinds of interesting jobs out there that would really interest you. There's probably different interesting things that would interest you to study, either in school or independently. And so I hope you'll, in the next few years, you'll have a spirit of exploration, and you're a guy that really asks a lot of questions and is good at talking to people. So I think that's really great to ask questions and to explore opportunities. So
excellent. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So I would like to invite our other guest on, and we're gonna have both of our guests on at once. So scoot over, Brent. Come on down, Claire. Welcome, Claire. Welcome to Blissin Out.
Thank you.
So great to have you.
It's great to be here.
So, everyone, this is Claire. This is my stepsister visiting from Canada. She's the cousin of Brant.
Yes.
Yeah.
How does it feel to be on the show, Claire?
Well, I'm a little nervous, but also it's very exhilarating. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm ready to talk. I'm ready to...
Are you ready to open up?
For sure.
Are you ready to answer tough questions?
Always.
All right, well, I'd like to get very deep, very fast. Aw, we have a hello, I miss you guys from Melanie.
Melanie,
Aw.
hello.
Hey, Mel.
So, Claire, actually, Brant, if I may put you in the hot seat first,
Okay, yeah.
what do you think is one of Claire's best qualities that she doesn't necessarily realize?
One of Claire's best qualities that she doesn't necessarily realize. You know what? That's a thinker. There's so many, of course. But the one that stands out to me the most is your positivity and your attitude that is just so enlightening and very, very exciting and forward. I really like it, and something that you might not notice. I'm sure you know that you're positive, but also your positivity is spilled onto others, especially when you are confronted with a conflict. It's almost inevitable for you to make light of the situation, and it's honestly something I really admire.
Oh, thank you.
Has she pulled you out of some dark times?
Yes. I mean, often just when I'm feeling alone or something like that, even though we don't live in the same country or, go to the same school or anything like that, I feel like I can always message you, and it's great to talk and FaceTime and stuff like that, and it's always something that uplifts me and helps me throughout the day.
Oh, my heart.
Oh, Claire, how does it feel to hear those comments?
Aw. I don't know. I'm kind of speechless, actually.
Well, Claire, I would like to ask you the same question. What is something about Brant that you really appreciate that maybe he doesn't really realize?
Well, me and Brant, we have been very close ever since we were little. We
Yes.
basically the same age. We grew up together. I think of you like a brother. And I guess I really see you as an ideal friend. Everything I want in a friend you have. You're compassionate, you're supportive. I know that all your friends are so lucky to have you. The way you speak about your friends to me is absolutely adorable. You will go on for hours about how much of a good person someone is and how amazing their heart is, and it's incredibly endearing to hear that.
Thank you.
And I'm always glad that you confide in me about that, and I truly believe that you are one of my best friends, and I think anyone that has you in their life is just like, they should be very thankful.
Thank you, Claire. Thank you.
Whoa.
It's very touching.
Wow,
Aww.
lots of hearts pouring in from around the world. Oh. Beautiful words, beautifully said.
I agree.
Well, Brant, thank you very much for being on the show.
Of course, yes.
I'll continue with a few questions for Claire.
Excellent.
So thank you, my friend.
All right.
And thank you for being vulnerable and honest. And it was great having you.
Thank you.
Hey, Dave.
Hey, Claire. Whoa. It's kind of hard to follow that.
I know.
But, well, let me kind of start with, similarly to Brant, what's been your experience like following Blissin Out from where you've been living, and how do you feel about it?
I mean, well, Dave, I've been a huge fan of Karma Tribe ever since you started, and since like the project was just like a small baby, and now it's grown into this incredible kind of like powerhouse of kindness. And yeah, I honestly love Blissin Out. I love getting ready in the morning and kind of like listening to you and Jackie talk. I really take to heart the themes that you talk about. I try to apply whatever theme that you guys are discussing to my life. Like, one that kind of hit home for me was when you two talked about kind of looking at a different perspective in your life and looking at the big picture. And I was in a time where I really needed that. And I'm sure that for a lot of people, Blissin Out does that. It shows them that they should, take into account all of these positive and good things in their life, and sometimes to take a step back and look at the big picture.
Aw, thank you, Claire.
Plus,
Jeez, you're so full of love and compliments.
It's a great way to see you, because I don't get to see you every day.
Yeah, well, I really appreciate you always tuning in. I know you're a busy gal. So guys, young Claire here has had quite an alternative high school experience. You started out going to high school in Calgary.
Yeah.
And then you kind of randomly decided that you wanted to go live with your biological dad and your biological sisters, and you moved to England. Is that right?
Yeah, I moved to London halfway through 9th grade.
And you were there for how long?
I was there for about 2.5 years, up until the end of 11th grade. And
then your dad got transferred to Chicago.
Yeah.
And you decided to do the last year of high school in Chicago.
Yeah, pretty much. Just decided to go.
So, in your experience of doing high school, for me, high school was a pretty, kind of difficult and weird time, because I was changing and so many new ideas and chemicals in my mind and not sure, just so many different questions. So how was it, doing high school in Canada and then England and then Chicago? What were some of the differences in the cultures? I know this is a very big question, but what are the main differences in your experiences in those three places with the cultures?
Well, I got to meet a lot of incredibly accepting and amazing people. I think that I love my friends in Canada, and I'm still friends with them today, but I created a lot of very strong friendships in all the countries that I lived in, and it gave me a different perspective on life, on cultures. It's kind of like Brant. He went from a big city to a small town. For me, it was almost like I went from a small town, a small city, to an even bigger city. And the views were changing. Everything was happening at such a fast pace. Mm-hmm. Kind of living in both London and Chicago, two very kind of metropolitan cities, I learned a lot about art. I learned a lot about history. I grew very appreciative of different foods and architecture. And it really did change me as a person, but in the best way possible.
And so you have already at such a young age, how old are you?
I'm 18.
18, okay. You already have had a lot of experience with making new friends, friendship, change, and what have you learned about friendship? What do you think is the key to being a good friend?
There's a lot to being a good friend, but I guess for me it's just you have to support your friends, because you can have, you can go out, you can have 1,000 good laughs, but there's nothing there unless you support each other. And for me, supporting each other, goes across borders.
So it can't be summarized easily. It's many different things.
It's many different things. It's all about compatibility. It's all about the quality of conversation. Mm-hmm. But again, for me, it's supporting each other no matter what, and no matter what circumstance.
That's very beautiful. Claire, what do you think that adults misunderstand about your generation? Can you think of anything?
There's the whole millennial stereotype that we're lazy and we always depend on our parents, and that all we want to do is kind of sit on our computers all day, which, some of us do. I'm not saying that it's not there, but I think some misconceptions, about today is that a lot of people are really driven to change the world, really, to change things for the better, to create a kinder, more equal society. And I feel that in my friends, in my family, and the people I know, the people that are my age. Wow. They're the ones that are going to be creating new inventions that are going to change life as we know it.
Wow.
And you can see that drive.
Yeah. Yeah, I was looking at a study from this group called the Charities Aid Foundation, and they study generosity across the world. And they did a study over 190 countries on how often people were helping strangers. And what they found is that actually every age group is getting more generous over the past 6 or 7 years. Every year, people are getting more and more generous towards strangers, but especially millennials are the most generous, and they're the ones that are even getting more generous each year. So it seems like the world is changing. It seems like your generation wants to do something meaningful with their time, right? Instead of just go into a regular job and have like security.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, Claire, geez, whoo! This is awesome. This is great. Well, I think it might be about the time. Do you know what time it is?
I do know what time it is.
It's time for the Favors of the Week. Yes, it is, and here they are.
And all of these favors are available online, so no matter what location, all of you guys can get in on these requests and favors.
Absolutely. Claire, thank you so much for joining me for this task.
Of course.
Please tell us, what is the first favor of the week?
All right. This is an offer from Chris, and it's a support network. So what this favor is if you're looking for someone to support you, encourage you, just listen to you, bounce off ideas, just feel free to give him a message, talk to him. And this is, don't have a location on this, but I'm sure if you guys go on Karma Tribe, Chris would be very happy to talk to you.
Yeah. Wonderful. Thank you, Chris, for your beautiful favor.
Yeah.
Sometimes the smallest thing, like just lending an ear to someone, can make a world of difference. So,
very true.
But you have to have the courage, the vulnerability to ask for help.
Well said, David.
Next, we have a request from Nicole Abrams, Fargo, North Dakota. Oh, yes. She's requesting hosts for the Green Riders Good Deeds on Bikes. Now, she's looking for people to host riders for a night or two along their route. They're going from Minnesota to Washington to Oregon. They're starting on July 7th, so I guess they've already started, and it's going till the end of August. So, guys, if you haven't heard about this, this is in collaboration with Rob Greenfield, famous environmental activist, very famous guy on social media. He's leading this group of bikers across the country. They're doing good deeds everywhere, and they need places to stay all along the Pacific Northwest of the U.S. over the next 2 months. So if you have some space, if you know of a hostel, if you know of something to help host these riders,
church or a farm,
check out this favor on Karma Tribe. The whole details of the itinerary are on the favor. We'll post the link soon after the show on the under the post, so check it out, guys. And thank you so much, my dear Nicole, for requesting this on Karma Tribe. This is awesome.
Yeah.
All you.
Thank you. All right, so this is a request from New York, and it's a request for legal assistance. I'm sorry if I pronounce your name wrong. Do you know how to say that?
Alaniram.
Here we go.
Alaniram?
So she was not able to pay for a hospital visit, and she's being sued. So she desperately needs legal advice and legal help. Doesn't know how to fight this. So, guys, if you know anything, please contact her on Karma Tribe.
Yeah, we need to get a lawyer in the New York area on this ASAP. We can't have a triber in trouble. We can't have a triber being sued because of medical expenses. So, guys, someone help this person out if you know of some legal connections.
Me or you?
So, it's me. Alrighty. Next, we have an offer from a certain Dragonfly in Mount Vernon, Washington, offering basics of photography. She says, I have been behind the camera for over 10 years. I want to spread knowledge to whoever wants to learn about photography.
Wow.
So that's a beautiful favor. So if you want to learn about photography, contact this chick. And, another...
Sharing passions is a beautiful thing.
It certainly is, my dear. It certainly is.
All right. We have an offer from Nico in Romania. Beautiful country. This is for...
Canning and preserves.
David's writing is very bad. So he says he can teach you everything about canning and preserves options, stuff like jams, pickles, eggplants, drying foods. So if you guys are interested in this, go online and ask for some advice.
Yeah. Check it out. I'm interested to learn how to make pickles myself.
You're very good at making pickles already.
Why, thank you. Now imagine if I talked to Nico 9, how good I would be. I would probably be expanding to eggplant preserves and marmalades.
We'd all be getting pickles for Christmas. This is for you, Dave.
It's mine, okay. Lastly, we have an offer from Anna in Dublin, Ireland. Yes, that's right. Offering digital marketing and web analytics. She says, I can help you with Google Analytics, Google AdWords, and Google Shopping. Now,
very useful.
Guys, I don't know if I can emphasize enough how cool this favor is, because not only can this help your business, but by learning these skills, then you can work freelance, baby, and you can live at the beach like me, surfing every day, keeping it real, sniffing out tubes left and right, and having a good old time, because the freelance life is the good life. So guys, take advantage of this favor. No more commuting to offices when you can work at home and live in Costa Rica. Sorry, end rant, but I feel strongly about working from home. I think it's a really awesome thing.
Yeah. Well said, David. I mean, nothing more for me to say.
Oh, well, this has been quite a show. Thanks for joining us, Jack Niel. Great to have you. Sebastian, hello. Guys, thank you for tuning in. It's been a great show. It's been great feeling, getting the perspectives from Brant and Claire, some wise young people.
Thank you for having us. Yeah, it's
my pleasure.
Dream come true for the both of us.
Absolutely my pleasure.
Aw,
such a sweetheart. Guys, have a fantastic day wherever you are. Thank you for joining us. We love you, and see you next week. Next week we will be announcing the winners of the Giant Heart video contest on next week's Blissin Out. It's going to be a huge episode, and we are going to air also the top 5 videos on the show. So check it out, guys. Goodbye, good luck, and have a fantastic day wherever you are.